Hi, I'm Beverly Benoit Brown, and I've got a question and an action plan for you today. Have you ever been on a date with someone who's invited you to a very, very popular movie? Maybe it's just opened that weekend, and you get there and there's a big line. And you're ready to stand on the line with your date, but the date says, "Oh no, I'm not having any of that. That's for the peons. Let them stand on the line. I'm going to go grease a few palms with the manager and I'll get us in immediately." Same thing at a concert or a restaurant. Anybody who's anybody, they'll say to you, gets a really good table. And I'm somebody, so I'm getting us a good table. And they whip out, $20, $50, whatever it is, throwing the money around and acting like they just feel that everybody else is down here and they're up here, and aren't you lucky to be in their company? Well, this is an example of entitlement, and it is our topic today on narcissistic relationships. The narcs, the crazy maker, the drama kings, drama queens, energy vampires, one of their favorite ways to get special treatment. They walk around with an ability to exude a sense of entitlement. They feel somehow like they're separate and above the rest of the population. They often show up as very condescending in their tone to waiters, to the people who pick up the trash, to people who are doormen or doorwomen in apartment buildings. And they generally radiate a sense of being entitled somehow to favorable treatment that really is reserved just for them. They don't care, because of the lack of empathy, of course, that their actions have consequences that are unfair to other people, that they're engaging in injustices. And I believe that what this really is a big smokescreen, this overdeveloped, seemingly sense of self-importance and self-justification to act any way they want to for their own convenience. It covers up a very deep-seated inferiority complex, because underneath it there's a terror which they try to create smokescreens around, that is that underlying unworthiness that I've referred to on some of the other videos in this series on narcissistic relationships. Many of you have been writing into me, to my channel, Beverly Benoit Brown MS, and you've been telling me that this has been a recurring pattern in your relationships with people who you feel may be fairly far along or very far along on the narcissistic spectrum of traits. It's been disturbing to you, it's been off-putting to you, and yet the charm, the seductiveness, often the sexiness and the juiciness of the person can be rather charismatic and hard to resist. Well, I've got my rose-colored glasses available today for us, because this clearly is one of those situations where you're being shown something about the character of another human being. The desire for a relationship, or the desire to maintain a relationship, often overwhelms the reality of what the person is demonstrating. And so part of the action plan I want to share with you today about how to take off the rose-colored glasses, put them in the drawer, and let them just go away from you. Part of the action plan is really all about understanding that when somebody shows you, in many cases repeatedly, that this kind of attitude is pervasive in their lives, you're seeing not just a red flag, a deep crimson flag flapping right in front of your eyes that's saying, this is not consistent with my core values. If there's a line, I'm willing to wait on it. If it means I'm not going to get the best restaurant table available in the entire universe, there'll be other meals. And short of sitting right in front of the kitchen where the door is going to be slammed open and shut repeatedly as the waiters and waitresses bring food in and out of the kitchen, I think there is a happy medium that has to be achieved about how important that table really is. When somebody says to you, oh, anybody who's somebody is going to be here tonight, they're telling you something about their value system. The question is, are you taking responsibility and listening, or are you getting lured into that sticky web, which you will most likely wind up feeling very uncomfortable in and wanting to get out, but the stickiness of it, meaning all those good qualities, all those lovely times that narcs and crazy makers, energy vampires are quite capable of engaging in with you, what is it going to be like in the long run? That's the question that you need to ask, I believe, when you're dating somebody or when you're even already involved. How consistent is this? This is a golden nugget I'd like to share with you today. Many of you know I'm an intuitive, and I'm also a life and relationship coach, a dating coach, a love mentor, and I have been doing this work now for over 30 years. And one of the things that disturbs me so much when I hear from you these days, and in working with clients who I currently am doing sessions with, is that over and over again, you're struggling with the choice between keeping the rose-colored glasses on and then seeing these people turn on you and become hypercritical and nasty and cutting and often discarding you like your yesterday's apple peelings when they made some applesauce. And then you're shocked and you're terribly hurt and your self-esteem has suffered a huge crushing blow very often, and then you've got to forgive yourself for having worn those rose-colored glasses for so long and cut yourself off from meeting somebody really who has good, solid, strong values, a beautiful character, a loving spirit, somebody who's had the strength to do the inner reflective work if they've had a hard childhood or had traumas that they've had to deal with, who can really be with you in a healthy, wonderful, joyful way ongoingly. That's what my goal is always as I make all these videos for you, to help you to know what is it that you really want, where do you really want to be in your life personally as well as professionally, spiritually, emotionally, materially, financially. What is the best life that you can have for yourself? Because frankly, I think there's more than enough suffering going on, more than enough negativity rampant in our society, more than enough self-absorption, so that people share on Twitter and Facebook and all these other social media the minutest minutia of their lives. No matter how close I am to somebody, I don't necessarily need to know that they had a bologna sandwich with mustard and ketchup and a little bit of mayonnaise on white bread or rye bread or whatever it might have been. We have to use a little bit of restraint, a little bit of discretion, and we have to choose more wisely sometimes. I'm sorry if this sounds like a lecture. It's just that I hear over and over again over all these years, and more so recently in the last couple of years, about this sense of entitlement that they knew and they saw and they heard in the other person from day one, and they saw the way they often mistreated people around them in the discard phase of the relationship, and yet they thought, oh, they'll never treat me that way. I'm special. Our friendship, our understanding, our rapport would never allow that to occur. only to find out in so many cases that's exactly what happened. What somebody can do to one person, it's very possible they will do to another person. It's all equally possible that they have done this in a repeating pattern for most of their lives, in the pursuit of feeling bigger and stronger and better than other people, because underlying it, they feel unworthy, undeserving, and inadequate. Please remember, people are always showing us who they are by what they do, not only the fancy words they say. And it's our job, our responsibility in every relationship we have to be active in our own behalf, to, yes, look for the best in people. I always do myself, and I know I certainly encourage my clients to do the same, and also to see who's really there, not just the potential for somebody to be wonderful, but what are they doing actually, here, now, today. Because today is all we have. And today, what we do and how we discern or fail to discern the character of these people that we're getting closer to is going to have a big piece of influence in our lives going forward if we stay in touch with them. So, entitlement. Here are a couple of golden nuggets I'd love to share with you about how to deal with this if you see this going on. Golden nugget number 1, from my heart right to yours. With respect and love for everything you've ever been through, whatever relationships you've been in the past, whatever yearnings of your heart you may have to have these friendships, have these romantic connections, and also a little proviso that if you see this happening, this is golden nugget for number 1 for today, if you see entitlement attitudes, beliefs, and values showing up in the person in front of you, it is a huge red flag. Please, please, please be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, are you wearing rose-colored glasses and ignoring what's in front of you that you may need to really reevaluate the relationship about? Golden nugget number 2 for today. If you're seeing an attitude of entitlement, if you're seeing that they want special treatment from other people, remember that you're next. They're going to want special favors from you. They're going to make demands and give you love tests, most likely, if they haven't already. And it will almost never be sufficient to keep them satisfied, because remember, the battery charger supplied to their ego, the compliments, the affirmative statements, the admiring stance that they demand you to keep having, no matter what is going on to the contrary of that, is yet another red flag that you're dealing with somebody whose insecurities are so powerful that you will never be able to fully satisfy them or have a stable relationship unless or until they change their ways. And the next and last golden nugget for today, please remember, having a partner is an option. It's a bonus. It is not a necessity for happiness. And the sooner you realize that, the less you will ever attract narcissists, energy vampires, or crazy makers again. Because they zero in on your neediness in different areas of your life, and they capitalize it on it, they use it, and they don't mean you well. I hate to have to say this because it sounds cynical, and as most of you realize if you've seen my other work, I'm very idealistic, but I also understand that when you're dealing with these sorts of problems, it can be serious impact on your happiness and safety. Until next time, I'm Beverly Banor Brown, inviting you to subscribe to the channel, Beverly Banor Brown MS, if you'd like to, free of charge, and inviting you also to check out the many other videos I have on my channel. Radical Gratitude, Inner Peace Now, About Vanishing Twin Syndrome, Mindful Parenting, Parenting with Heart, Joyful Marriage, there are lots of those out there and we want to have more of them all the time. Authentic Dating, did I mention that one? And there are more. Codependency revealed, with others soon to be added. I love making them for you. I love hearing from you. Please feel free to leave me a like if you've enjoyed any part of this or you resonate with any part of this. Even if you totally disagree with me, it's all good. Bye for now, and many bright blessings for your precious life.